Now we move to social psychology theories, and today we are going to take two theories. Let's see what Sigmund Freud says. Sigmund Freud is a psychoanalyst, and he has a concept towards scapegoating. Uh, and he also stressed on the two terms, which is displacement or deposition, and projections, which means overturn. And he mentioned that these two terms are a way or a mechanism to defend our image or our self-image. And let's read the first sentence, which says, the concept of scapegoating is also somewhat consistent with the Sigmund Freud notions. So the idea or the definition of scapegoating is similar to the concept or is similar to what Sigmund Freud argued. Towards the two terms displacement, which means deposition, or projection, which means overturn, as a defense mechanism or a defense way. According to Freud, people displace hostility that they hold toward unacceptable targets. For example, parents, the boss, onto less powerful ones. For example, if your father or your mother blame you of something you did wrong, and of course we will not be able to argue with them because because we respect them, but how you will get out or distract or discharge your anger, maybe you will go and be angry or shout to your younger brother or younger sister. So here what we do is overturn our anger on the younger brother or younger sister. What we mean, I'll read the sentence again. According to Freud, people depose hostility, means enmity or hatred they had toward unacceptable targets, the unacceptable targets who are more powerful than me, the parents or the boss. And I will express my anger and frustration on whom? On the others who are less powerful than me. For example, at work, you are director and you have the CEO, the chairman. Okay, the chairman is the big boss of all the organization, and you are a director, for example, of one of the department in this organization. If you have a problem with the CEO, okay, and he blame you of not fulfilling or achieving the target of your department, what you will do, you will depose that or overturn that on the other employees who are working under you in your department, because they are less powerful than you and you are less powerful than the CEO. Similarly, projection, which means overturn, refers to what? To one's tendency to our tend or intention to attribute or to contribute one's own unacceptable feelings or anxieties, frustration onto others, thus denying them within oneself. Both mechanisms, which is displacement and projection, protect people from their illicit. Illicit means forbidden. Forbidden desires or fears by helping them reject the notion. The notion means the idea that they are the holders of such feelings. To because we want to deny that we are the one who made the mistake. We don't want to feel that we did the mistake. No, this is the mistake of the others, not me. Not I'm the one who is failure. The others are the failure. As such, the target of their displacement or projection may serve as a scapegoat. Let's see the social psychologists how they explain the tendency to scapegoat in similar terms as displacement or projection. Uh, the social psychologists argue that this theory suggests that people experience negative emotions when they feel as though they are treated relatively poorly for illegitimate reasons. Due to social psychologists, they want to mention that when people depose or overturn their problem on others because they feel that they do not take the right, okay, that's why they behave in a negative way. That's why their emotions is negatively and they are not positive. They feel as if they uh, have broken hearts uh, because they feel they are treated in a way uh, in a way that it is pointless. Pointless means that there is no reason, that there is no legal reason why to be treated in this way. Okay, and we will see this example will clarify what we mean by that. A person who works in an organization and is working well, doing his job, very efficient, talent, active, systematic, everything he's doing according to the book, as the book says. And he gains, for example, 3,000 pounds. And all of a sudden, he found that another person uh, is working with him, but he found that he is taking salary more than he uh, uh, used to have. Here he would start to feel hatred, to start to feel anxiety, to be fear, to be frustrated, emotions, different feelings and emotions will emerge from that person. That's why he will behave in a negative way because he will start to ask why that guy is taking or have been raised more than me. So let's read the example. For example, a person may be satisfied with his or her salary until the person learns that a colleague whose work is not great but who is friends with the boss gets a raise. Now the person is relatively deprived and may resent the colleague for the person's lower salary. Finally, we have another point related to scapegoat, which tends to pose a real threat to the in-group intentionally or unintentionally. In group means the groups within other groups. For example, the white and blacks in in USA, or what we call them, the African Americans. There is a hatring or what we call racism from the white towards the black, okay, or the African Americans. Uh, there are lynchings. Lynchings means exclusion. Exclusions means to get rid of them by killing them. Lynching uh, or exclusion against blacks rose dramatically when economic prospects or economic expectation for whites began to drop off. There was envy between blacks and whites when there's drop off towards the whites. The whites start to feel that the blacks are taking from them the job, so they started to get rid of them by executing them, by lynching them. uh, African Americans were perceived as the greatest threat because they were what they are threatening them, okay, to get jobs. That's why they get rid of them by a tragic way, okay. So they are the black, the African Americans are scapegoat, okay, due to the what due to the expectations of drop of economic, okay. So this is also another point and an example related to that point, which is related to tendency of threatening to the in group, which is maybe intentionally, okay, or unintentionally. And thank you, and we'll meet again in another theory, if God is willing.